Hey guys, I have the pleasure today of being here with my good friend Tom, and he's a synthesizer and electronic music and effect fan also, and we've known each other for several years now, back from the times of Harmony Central. And I'm in his studio, and he's got a fantastic studio. We'll get to it very soon. So Tom, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
For
glad to have you here. All right.
Yeah. Been here several times, and you'll see it in a minute, but Tom has a fantastic studio, and he's really knowledgeable about synthesizer and especially effect processor. This guy is he's my guru for effects. So let's dig into it.
Yeah, sure. Got a few things here to play around with.
All right, Tom. I think maybe we can start from the console, because I remember last time I came here you had the Trident 70, which was a beautiful board.
It was a beautiful board.
Yep.
It was about 7 feet long and about 300 pounds. So the new space constraints mean if I had a mixing board in here, that's all I'd have, nothing else. So I had to cut back, got something a little smaller, a little more compact. Got the
you got the Toft.
The Toft here, yeah, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I tried it last time, and I remember the EQ is fantastic on this board, right?
No, it sounds good. It's functional. It does what it's supposed to do. It's got a decent amount of sends and everything else, a lot of input. So
24 channel, right? Yeah.
Works for me. Yeah.
Very cool. And then you got an extensive patch bay up here, and the Dynaudio speakers, really good. Yeah. And then this is what we were talking about before, the Marshall time modulators. These are devices that I really need to get one. I love it. It was used by, famously by Martin Hannett, one of my favorite producers. And actually, if you have a chance to let the audience hear them, because they sound fantastic.
We can get. I'm sure we can get something running through there.
Okay. All right. This is.
Get a little more.
Yeah. So you're using a PPG. Are you coming off the PPG?
Yeah, it's the PPG, and
which I'm gonna buy back from you. We'll get to that in a second.
So these
it's a gorgeous sound.
They can be quite unpredictable as far as, let me get something easier to go through here. Let's go 14.
Yeah, this is the sound. Oh, it sounds so great.
You can blow your speakers pretty easily.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the classic sound of the early 80s, late 70s. I love it. Oh! Beautiful. All right. That sounded fantastic, Tom. Thank you. And then on the right here you have a digital timepiece and the Transient Designer, really cool box. That's really useful for shaping drum sounds. And then the Roland RSP-550. We were talking about that earlier. That thing also sounds fantastic. I think you're routing that from the
PPG should be.
The PPG, yeah.
I'm peeking the crap out of that, so Hang on a second.
Yep.
Good.
It's an awesome sound. Oh, that's the Jeff.
Certainly the PPG contributes to that a little bit, but
sure.
Let's go.
If you want to play the PPG while you tweak that.
Let's go to, this is their version of Black Hole.
Oh, okay. Sound. Gorgeous.
This is more of a shimmer type. Their version of shimmer.
Oh yeah.
2 or 3 more presets will drive the price up.
It's true. Let's stop right here.
So there's a good. They have a lot of nice little there's some little here's the jet phaser.
Okay. Gorgeous.
Their version of String Machine ensemble type chorus.
Oh, I like this one a lot. Oh wow. It's a great sound. Gorgeous. Okay guys, now we're looking at Tom's rack effect here, which is very impressive. Let's take a look. So there are a couple of Publison machines. I'll go up and down, and then we'll talk about them. So Publison DHM 89, 2 of them. Then you got the famous Infernal machine. You got a couple of RSP-550 again. Lexicon PCM 81, and then you got the rack mounted mini Moog, and then this one here. And you were saying this one here, rack mounted mini Moog, you had to refurbish yourself, right?
Yeah, I had a mini Moog that had a pretty heavily damaged machine, but the boards were good, so it was an early version. Pulled the boards out and rehosting. I got a case from Studio Electronics, rehosting it. It's got partially done. I still got to finish some of the wiring, and then add the Kenton mini Moog MIDI adapter for that, and then should be good to go.
Yeah, you did a great job. It looks really nice. I like the panel. And then you got an AFX expander gate, and the Roland MKS-20, which is a version of the RD-1000 classic machine. Then you got the Bricasti M7, which are incredible reverb units. I heard them last time I was here.
They're nice, yeah.
Doesn't get much better than that for reverb.
It's a different flavor than like the PCM 81 or the old Lexicons or something.
Yeah,
so.
which you also have. We'll get to them. All right, let's listen to the Publison then. You have it hooked up to the PPG?
Yeah, the PPG's been playing through that. It's just the same basic sound we've been hearing all day.
Okay.
And got some delay and pitch shift in there potentially, so we'll see what it's doing.
Okay. Gorgeous sound.
It's just a very, how they do delay and pitch shift is very interesting. It sounds very musical. It's a very, very interesting box. So, and Publison is still servicing those in France. So
yeah,
if you run across one and it's not working 100%, it's going to be expensive shipping it out and back, but it's worth it to get it up and running again.
Worth the effort. Very good. Awesome. All right, cool.
Over here, we're just going to increase that. 8. Oh, enter.
This is the famous Infernal machine from the 80s. Cathedral?
This is actually their sound hoarder program.
Oh, sound hoarder.
Not quite an infinite reverb, but pretty close.
Which, and you tweaked it to have a longer tail. Oh, that's sweet. Beautiful. It's gorgeous sound tones. Love it, love it, love it. Very cool. So now we already went through the 550s, and I think everybody knows what the Mini Moog sounds like.
Right.
and also the MacBeth 20. It's a pretty popular unit. All right, let's move on to the next rack. Okay, here we have a couple of wonderful units. This is an Oberheim Two Voice, an original one from the 70s. And this one is the famous Knifonium, or Knifonium, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. And it's a tube synth. So maybe we want to play a little bit of the demo.
Sure. This is a basic patch setup here. It's a...
And you're using the aftertouch.
The aftertouch is bringing a little bit of ring mod in. They have a pretty comprehensive aftertouch section, 2 oscillators, low pass filter, noise. So it's LFO, of course.
Sure.
It's just one of those machines that just sounds great to play.
It not only sounds fantastic, but it also looks gorgeous. This is handmade. In Finland, right? Or,
yeah, so but the overall, talk to the designer. It's he's a really smart guy, and it's laid out pretty well. It's easy to use. There's all kinds of other odds and ends. And there's feedback and different modes. So it's certainly full of tone.
Yes.
and the nice little wall wart power supply down below.
Oh, let's look at the wall wart power supply. It's about 12 by 30.
It's heavier than most of the modern gear.
Yeah. Very, very cool. Yeah, this is a beauty.
It's a wonderful machine. I was very fortunate to find one, and it's just nice. It's just a beautiful machine.
I agree. All right, and on the top we got the classic Oberheim Two Voice. This, if I remember correctly, is Tom Oberheim's favorite synth.
This was he started with the expander module and then put a couple in a box, threw a sequencer in there.
Right.
It's all good stuff. I have it set up to go back and forth on here, so unison mode. Sequencer lets you control. So if you do that, you can do this. The beauty is you have to tune everything.
Yep, old school.
Right. So you can do that, play sequencers with that, or just play it from the keyboard. It's all good.
Sure.
Having a tuner always helps with these things.
Mm-hmm.
But the overall sound of this Got two saw and a square going on here. So.
Split these and have one module play the sequencer part and do like say bass or lead on the other hand.
Right, and you can set which module is being played by the sequencer or by the sample and hold,
yeah,
and or by the keyboard CV. So it's actually this is a pretty well thought out design.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted CV gate control, so I added some electronics and a switch in the back that if I flip the switch the other way, then my external sequencer with the CV gate stuff can control each SEM plus some of the modulation and the VCA mod and stuff. So
super cool.
I had to add more than just a couple switches, because I added a switch and some electronics, and it toggles back and forth nicely. So
yeah, it sounds great. It sounds absolutely wonderful. All right. All right, now we are on another section of Tom's studio, and we've got like again from top to bottom we got the Roland Jupiter-8, and we got the Modor NF-1, the Spectralis is here we're talking about, Pyramid, and the Waldorf Stripe Fat, and the PPG Wave 2.3, one of the two PPG 2.3, and actually we should say something. So the story about this one, about 7-8 years ago, I bought a PPG 2.3 from you. Which one was this one or the other one?
The other one.
The other one. And then you had a change of heart about 2 or 3 years ago, and you want it back, so I sold it back to you.
Right.
And then again today, I actually am buying the PPG again back from you. I guess one is enough.
Given the space constraints and everything else, and the amount of free time I have, one is enough.
I'm happy to get the PPG back, because I have one video on my website, on my channel, that's very popular. It's like the Miami Vice style sound, and the PPG has that. It covers that really well, and plus it's a classic, and we all love the sound. So yeah, if you'd like to give a few demo of the Jupiter-8.
Paulo said he's going to show up today and do this, and so I powered everything on, and the Jupiter-8 wouldn't come on this morning. So
that's right.
So I pulled it from the rack about an hour before he got here, took it apart, cleaned it up, fixed a couple loose cold solder joints in there, put it back together. So right now it's running, it's calibrated. I have one VCO that's not sounding, one voice that's not sounding 100%, but the machine is still a good sounding machine. So here's another one of those, just start it running and just step aside and go have lunch or take a nap or something.
That's a classic.
So it's just
Simple, elegant, beautiful. The 80s in a box.
Add a couple notes here and there. What's not to like?
What's not to like? There's everything to love. Awesome. All right. And next, I'm not super familiar with the Modor.
Right. I will patch that up.
Yeah.
It's proudly digital, the oscillators, and they have some basic FM in there. They have some very unusual waveforms to choose from. Filters are interesting. They have a formant filter that lets you do vowel type sounds and things. And overall, it's a nice modern take on synthesis. The FM part is easy to use. They got some built-in basic effects, but overall, the machine's got a nice sound. I'll just run through a couple patches that I created, and maybe something else that's in there. We'll see. But get an idea of the range of what it can do. Okay. So I'm just using the Sycologic to drive it. So hands off here.
All right. Oh, that's gorgeous. You're talking about.
We'll see if it picks up the low end of that. That's just a patch right
there. Very powerful sound. Alright, this is a Spectralis.
And there's some random patterns and stuff that's in here. I'm just going to play a couple to let you get an idea of some of the sounds. The machine is very, very deep. There's a lot of virtual patch cables, a lot of VCAs, a lot of things in here. You can create drum tracks, and there's an analog type synth, analog filters, digital oscillators. Overall, the sound is just very nice in this box. So it's just a quick example of this. Like I said, the complexity behind it can be daunting, but the rewards are fantastic.
Yeah, well, any machine that has you know, so many knobs is a lot easier to use than say the X7. But yeah,
yes, that is true. We've been hearing the PPG all this time, so the PPG. It's been.
Okay, you want to move on to this rack here?
Sure. This is, by the way, this is the remote control for the MIDI patch bay, which is the Sycologic is not that common here. It's more of a UK thing.
Yeah.
But I have a 16x16 plus another 16 expander output, so it's a 16x32 patch bay, and lets you assign and save and stuff like that. So it doesn't do filtering, it doesn't do merging, it doesn't do any kind of processing. So it's really like a smart through box.
Yeah, I remember seeing they were doing synchronizers in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
Early 80s.
Yep.
Psychology, I remember the brand.
Yep.
Very cool. All right, and that's the Sycologic sequencer.
Yep.
Very cool box. Yeah. And then on the top here you have the Xenophone.
Yeah, it's a monosynth, a modern monosynth. It's got a lot of capabilities.
Oh, love this. I love it.
There's a lot of capabilities in here.
Yep. Nice vocal performance again. Nice TP303.
Even dry, it sounds good. I mean, they have built-in delay and reverb, but it's a nice sounding box.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's got that sound.
The filters and frequency, it's all
easy to access, yeah. Very cool. Alright. And the next one is the Octatrack. That's a classic, also has been out for a while.
Yeah, I am.
Then you got the Roland TR-8. Also, I have one of these, and we were chatting before, and I find myself using these more and more than the real TR-909 and TR-808. Do you have the expansion module, the 7X7?
Yeah.
Very cool. I need to get that. Yeah, really, you get 80-90% of the sound, and it's a lot easier to use. It's got compression, reverb, delays built in. You don't need to sync it to anything, it's just MIDI.
Yeah, I mean, normally I don't do a whole lot of stuff with drums. I had 808, 909, and 808. Yeah. I recapped it, calibrated, did a full cleanup, and the thing sounded awesome. So whoever got that for me is got quite a good version of an 808. But those machines have been around for a long time, heard them a lot, and this is right. This is good enough, right? I'm not looking to recreate exactly. I just want drum sounds that I can edit and control over MIDI, and the flexibility and the ease of use is in this case wins out. Like with the Jupiter-8, it doesn't win out, right? PPG, it doesn't win out, but for me, for drums, it's not that important. So relatively, this is more than fine.
Totally understand. And now here you have the MacBeth Elements, and I played this at Mark's house, another friend of mine, and I love that set. This is really fantastic. I don't know if you have it hooked up, but yeah, you do, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so creamy, gorgeous.
It's not. I haven't calibrated this in a little bit, so who knows what the pitch is right now. But the
more auto tune, the better.
You say that, but.
Oh.
They got a crazy delay.
Yeah. Love it.
It's the kind of stuff that you
can go crazy, yeah?
Yes.
3 oscillators.
So you get a it's just it was a very interesting design by MacBeth.
It's got the touch keyboard. You find yourself playing in different ways.
Yes.
Than on a regular, keyboard. So yeah, it's a really interesting machine.
Right. In case it hasn't come across yet, I'm not a keyboard player.
No,
I kind of know where keys are, but that's about it, right?
It's all about the music. It's all about the end product. It doesn't matter how or how proficient. Just go for it.
Some people would argue that, of course, but
it's all good. It's all good. All right, we have a couple more racks to go through. Okay, so we have more racks here. Some more wonderful stuff. We have a classic Kurzweil K250 here, RMX rack-mounted version of the 250, and then you have the Eventide H8000 monster units, 2 of them, and then you got another Infernal machine, and then you got 2 Lexicon 480L.
It's good to have backups of the old gear.
Absolutely. So we were checking out the Kurzweil, which sounds phenomenal. So if you want to give it a demo, you're running that from this PPG.
I'm just using this as a controller, right?
Yeah, but you're playing the Kurzweil right now. if you want.
They made themselves known with the quality of the samples that they use.
Yes.
Let's see if we can pick up the. There's the grand piano.
Okay. I mean, this for the mid '80s was incredible quality.
Here's a there's some bowed strings. And let's try a horn section here.
Okay.
Go ahead. And one more. We'll get a. See if we can get the orchestra here. Try that orchestra.
Okay. Full. The sound is so full. I mean, it's probably hard to come through the camera, but if you're here in the studio, the sound is just phenomenal. And this was what, 1984?
It's pretty early. They repackaged these in the PX, SX lines and the 1000 modules. In general, I think the 1000 modules sound really good, especially in the mid-range. As you go farther on the ends, like out here, you can still pick out individual instruments, even at the extreme ranges.
Sure. Yeah.
On the 1000 modules, those kind of start blurring and mush on the low end and a little bit blurring and shrill on the high end. But in general, the middles both sound good. But the 250 is just
it sounds different. I used to have the K2000. I still have the K2500.
Right.
And you know, it's got the sound blocks that are probably taken from the same sampling session, but this sounds, I don't know, better, fatter.
Each of the voices has their own output channel, own electronics for that. It's not merged and processed that way. So maybe it all adds to it, right? It was done back in the day with no compromise.
No compromise.
250 was a very expensive machine back in the day. So.
Sure. Yeah. All right, we're gonna take a look at the H8000. And Tom has it here dialed up to a few cool patches using this Eventide EveNet controller. And we're going to hear the sound bypassed and then wet. Again, this is the sound from the PPG.
Go ahead.
You want? Oh, you can do it.
It's bypassed.
Said I'm convinced to buy the H8000.
They'll be going cheap because the 9000's coming out soon.
That's right, yeah.
So, this is another one called Backwards Garden. It's a classic Eventide.
Okay. Oh, nice step delays. Yep, this is classic Eventide. Absolutely beautiful. Wow, fantastic. All right, I want to take a quick listen to the Lexicon 480L, another studio staples of the late 80s, early 90s. All right, so now we're going to listen to the Lexicon 480L, which Tom has his Lark controller here with some parameters loaded, and again we're using the PPG to generate the sound. You want to bypass it first?
No, go ahead.
Okay, all right. Awesome sound. Yep, nothing beats the old Lexicons.
Let's go to the random halls here.
Okay.
And then program 1. Okay.
It's a beautiful tail of reverb.
It really is. It's a nice sound. It's a class. Again, it's stuff
so
you've
warm.
grown up with, right?
Yeah.
If you're a certain age, you've heard this all the time, and
it's on records.
It resonates with you, right? So.
Absolutely. Here is a Neutron sequencer. You got the Memotron, the classic Mellotron emulation. Fantastic. And then this is the PPG I'm taking home with me today.
Yes, a door prize.
All right, and this is the Alligator. It's a French analog synth. Very cool stuff. And then there's the workbench where you repair all the old gear that inevitably
needs repair. Yes,
needs repair all the time. And let's scoot by. And there are a few more things here we didn't talk about. Yamaha sequencer QY700 and the Nord Electro 5. I think we covered most of it.
Yeah, I like this. I like this for the organs.
Yeah,
it's really nice with that drawbars. It's not the same as real, but it's really handy to sit there and do quick adjustments. So it's nice for that. And you load up a lot of the Nord sample sets. There's some Fairlight samples and other orchestral type things. So it's a good all around machine to have there.
Awesome. All right, guys. I just want to thank you, Tom, so much for letting us into your studio, which is, as you can see and hear, it's a fantastic little kid in the toy store for us musicians here.
Time is the hard thing to find these days.
I know, I'm with you.
So getting time to do stuff and record it and properly edit it.
I know we're about the same age, and I know how it is with the family, and kids, and work.
Yeah.
Thank you so much again, Tom, for having us. All right, bye.
Bye.